Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chairperson of the Executive Board, Madam President of the General Conference, Madam Director General of UNESCO, Excellencies, dear colleagues, it is increasingly clear that the overwhelming, numerous and diversified challenges of our time are impossible to govern for any state alone. This is why Italy remains a staunch supporter of multilateralism and of its most representative institution, the United Nations, the place where every voice is heard, the place where we are called to learn, understand and respect each other, as stressed by President Giorgia Meloni in a recent speech at the Summit of the Future. We must now seize the opportunity given by the Pact for the Future to strengthen furthermore the multilateral system, also through necessary and urgent reform, to better respond to today's world and to the complex global questions which lie ahead of us. Let's give multilateralism a chance now, in this period of overlapped, spiraling and disastrous crises, which are transforming our generation in a confused crowd of sleepwalkers, as unfortunately seen already twice in the past century. We believe that in this context, UNESCO's mandate remains crucial as a valid antidote to avoid irreversible global damages. For this reason, as already highlighted by Madam Director General, Italy, in the framework of the current presidency of the G7, has decided to constantly involve UNESCO in several ministerial meetings all over 2024. In the G7 ministerial meeting in Trento, dedicated to technology and digital, UNESCO was recognized as a knowledge partner and gave a significant contribution to advancing the discussions on policies, tools and mechanisms, in particular artificial intelligence, with an acknowledgement of the importance of UNESCO recommendation on the ethics of AI included in the final declaration. The organization also played a leading role in the educational ministerial meeting in Trieste to accelerate efforts on SDG 4 targets, and in the meeting held in Bologna, devoted to higher education and science, advocating for a closer cooperation with Africa in these domains. In this context, the ministers' final declaration recognized the value of UNESCO's Campus Africa initiative, and let me add from my side its evident synergies with the Mattei plan promoted by Italy as innovative model of partnership and development with the African continent. Most recently, the G7 declaration issued by the Minister of Culture in Naples, in line with what UNESCO has been advocating for a long time, called for the full recognition and integration of culture and the creative economy into development processes and policies, including the commitment to promote it as a standalone goal in future discussions on how to advance sustainable development beyond 2030. It is indeed an objective that we must pursue with all the tools, conventions, programs, strategies at the disposal of UNESCO. Italy continues to be committed to the recognition of culture as a standalone development goal, also through the support of Mondiacult 2025 and the organization of initiatives such as the Naples Conference on Cultural Heritage in the 21st Century, the first major event bringing together the 1972 and the 2003 conventions, to which we strive to ensure concrete follow-ups, as well as through the Group of Friends of Culture recently established in New York upon Italian initiative. Distinguished colleagues, UNESCO will soon undergo a transition period as the elections of the new Director General are approaching. But this cannot in any way put on hold or slow down our activities. Indeed, an effective and quickly adapting organization remains more crucial than ever to pursuing our objective in defense of peace in these turbulent times. In front of the wounds inflicted on the rules-based international system by Russia's war or aggression, Italy will host in 2025 the Ukraine Recovery Conference, in which we will stress once again our unwavering support for Ukraine in order to build a just and lasting peace and to promote the full recovery of Ukraine also in the sectors within the mandate of UNESCO, which have all been seriously hit. In the culture sector, we are particularly committed to build up on the recent Vilnius call for action, acknowledging the role that culture can play as a pillar for stabilization and reconstruction. We are following with the greatest concern the dramatic developments in the Middle East. We work with conviction to prevent the entire region from ending up in the abyss of a generalized war, a catastrophe that no one would be able to control. Both in Gaza and in Lebanon, we call for the immediate cessation of hostilities and for definitive negotiated solutions, setting the conditions for a lasting peace, convinced that the United Nations remains central in resolving armed conflicts and mitigating the current appalling humanitarian impact. But we are also convinced that beyond the crucial action in crisis and emergencies areas, UNESCO must continue to operate on medium and long-term projects in strategic areas, starting from Africa. This is why we are glad that the draft programme and budget for 26-29 reiterates the far-sighted commitment to priority Africa. We look forward to the crucial debate we will have on the Strategic Results Report 2024, as well as on the draft programme and budget for 26-29, bearing in mind that the overall objective is to have an increasingly effective organization, capable of acting with rapidity, flexibility and authority in front of all challenges arising in the areas of its mandate, and to adapting its action on the ground to the different context and the ongoing crisis at the service of the Member States. Thank you.